What's up, NBA fans? It's Mike here. Today, I want to talk about the candidates for the most important regular season award in the NBA, and that is the MVP. Who is going to win the 2021 MVP? Now, obviously, it is still very early in the season, and this is by no means an award set in stone. In fact, none of the regular season awards are. Alright? But I'm going to give you my predictions anyway, because why the heck not? I feel like it. So let's get right into it. I'm just going to go through all the players in some sense from least to best chances to win the award, in my opinion, and tell you why or why not I do believe they will win. So first off, looking at this list I've got in front of me of like probability and stuff, which, first of all, trying to look at the NBA's 2021 MVP like probability things, I've seen like 4 different ones, and they're all different. None of them are the freaking same. They're all over the place, driving me completely bonkers. Anyway, let's talk about the guy who everyone was hyping the hell up before the season, that is Luka Doncic. Doncic is currently having a very good season so far, 26 points on 45% from the field. Very nice numbers, not to mention almost 10 assists and 10 rebounds. He's very close to averaging a triple-double. He could get it this season. However, Luka Doncic is only shooting, and I say only with like quotation marks there, 75% from the line and only 28% from 3. And it's the 3-point percentage that really kills him in my opinion, along with the fact that his team, and I said this before the season, Luka Doncic is not going to win enough games. He's just not. The Mavs are not off to an amazing start due to missing Kristaps Porzingis, at least not the start you would expect from an MVP caliber player on an MVP caliber team. Alright, you need wins. Wins are very, very important for the MVP award, and Luka doesn't have them. He's just not winning enough games, and even with Porzingis back, he really needs to improve his off-ball movement, and that's something that the Mavs as a whole really need to work on. They need to get this man more shots off-ball. It's partially on him, it's partially on Rick Carlisle, and it's partially on the Mavs general manager to get some more playmaking on this team outside of Luka so he isn't carrying so hard, because until that happens, he's not going to shoot nearly as well as he should be, and the Mavs are not going to be as good as they potentially could be with someone of Luka's talent. Alright? Luka is not my pick for the MVP. He never was before the season, and it's looking less likely every single day. Now, with Luka out of the way, I want to talk about my preseason prediction for the MVP, and that is Giannis. And I know the voters are against him, but I still thought that Giannis was just going to come out, and he was going to have such another incredible season, the best season he's had of his career, and it was just going to be impossible to not give him the award. And so far this year, that has not happened. Now, Giannis is still putting up, I would argue, MVP numbers, alright? 27, 10, and 5, along with a steal and a block, and he's doing this on 53% from the field. Those are great numbers, but he's only shooting 31% from 3, and he is shooting an abysmal, an atrocious 59% from the free throw line. That's awful. That's Ben Simmons, Dwight Howard bad, okay? And Dwight Howard stands like 4 feet back from the free throw line because there's something mentally wrong with him. Seriously, Giannis is an awful free throw shooter. I don't know what the heck is wrong with him. He seems to be getting worse every year now. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's up with Giannis, but he needs to get his free throws together, and until he does, there's no way, in my opinion, he wins the MVP. His field goal percentage is also a little bit lower than you would like. 53% is incredible, but Giannis, we just come to expect more. And with the voters already turned against him, 27 points and 58% from the free throw line is just not going to cut it for him to win the MVP. Now let me go over some of the other guys who people have really talked about, but I don't believe in. Nikola Jokic, first up, alright? I have Jokic as a top 10 player. If you believe Jokic is the best center in the league, I think it's a fair argument. I disagree, but I think it's a fair argument. Jokic has been ballin' this year. He is averaging a 25-point triple-double on very good efficiency with 57% from the field, which is incredible, 35% from 3, which is respectable, and 85% from the free throw line, which is very, very good for a center. He's playing fantastic. fantastic right now, and he might average a triple-double for the season. Not to mention he's averaging 2 steals, which is pretty nice for a center. However, just like Luka Doncic, I don't think Jokic is going to have the wins. In fact, the Mavs and the Nuggets currently have the same record. They are 7-7, exactly 500, and I just don't think you can win the MVP like that. I think both teams will make the playoffs. They'll get better as the year goes on, but you really need to be a top 2 seed in your conference in order to win the MVP, and I can't see the Nuggets getting that high because of their massive defensive issues. Michael Porter Jr.'s missed some games. He's going to come back. The team's going to play better, but I just don't think they're going to be able to make it to the top of the West with the Lakers and the Clippers already up there. Those two teams are set. I just don't see a way that Jokic is able to carry his team hard enough to get him in there. Even with the triple-double numbers, I think Russell Westbrook was really an exception in 2017. I've made, most people would say too many videos about Russell Westbrook at this point, but he was an exception, not the rule. He did not set a new standard for MVPs. You still generally really need that top 2 seed if you're going to win the award. So Nikola Jokic is not going to win it, in my opinion. Speaking of the Lakers and Clippers, let's look at the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, specifically Paul George, have absolutely been balling out this season. They've been playing absolutely fantastic. Both players are averaging 24 to 25 points a game. They're shooting great from the field. They're playing great defense, and the Clippers are 11-4. But similar to Steph Curry and Kevin Durant on the Warriors, they're gonna take each other's votes. If the Clippers were doing this good without both players on the team, if it was just Kawhi or just Paul George, or even if there was a clear hierarchy, like if Paul George was playing like he was last year, then I would say Kawhi is a very legit MVP candidate, but he's not. They're playing very similar to the same level. I would say Kawhi is still slightly better, alright, and I would definitely have him higher than Paul George if I was ranking players, but just so far this season, Kawhi has been like the tiniest bit better than Paul George, and I think it's too close, and they're gonna take each other's votes, just like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry did on the Warriors. Speaking of Kevin Durant, I said before he has a very, very real MVP chance, but that was before they traded for James Harden. Now that they have traded for James Harden, I don't see a way Kevin Durant wins this award, and it's not actually me bashing on the Nets here. It has nothing to do with the Nets losing games, okay? First of all, the Nets would have to win a whole bunch of games, though. They're currently over 500, but they're only 9-7. It's not some phenomenal record or anything. And also, Kevin Durant now has 2 co-stars. Kyrie Irving, you can debate whether or not he's a superstar. It's totally fair to think he's not. James Harden is a superstar, though. James Harden is still a top 7 player in this NBA, and I don't think Kevin Durant can win an MVP playing next to James Harden, just like he couldn't win an MVP playing next to Steph Curry. Kevin Durant has completely proven me wrong. I'm probably going to have to do a video soon, just coming out and saying that I was dead wrong about Kevin Durant, because I really was. I really thought the Achilles injury was going to slow him down more, but he has not missed a beat. 31 points right now, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and he's doing this on 53% from the field and 47% from 3. The man is in God mode. However, even with those amazing numbers, I don't think you can win an MVP when you're playing next to James Harden, and also probably Kyrie if the Nets don't end up trading him, alright? I just don't think it's going to happen, because they're going to switch now. I think Kevin Durant's points are going to go down a little bit with Kyrie and Harden back. They're going to, alternate who's having 30 points each night, and I just don't think KD, even if he is the best player on the team, which I believe he will be, I don't think he's going to stand out enough above Harden specifically to win this award. Alright? So, we are currently left with, in my opinion, 2 real candidates. And let's talk about the first one, who I think is fairly the number 1 MVP candidate right now, LeBron James. LeBron James is averaging 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, along with a steal, and he's doing this on 48% from the field, 38% from 3, and 72% from the line. He's playing absolutely phenomenal. The Lakers are the first seed in the West with 11-4 as their record. Anthony Davis has been very good this season, but he's only averaging 21 points a game, and he has once again fallen down to being the clear second best player on the team. Thank God. I am so happy to see the Anthony Davis hype going down, alright? Now, LeBron James has been absolutely putting up MVP numbers this year, and he could win the award, okay? The top two guys I have are pretty much neck and neck, and I really do believe LeBron could win. I will not be surprised whatsoever if LeBron does win the award. However, even though Anthony Davis has been in a slump, he gets the votes from people, okay? Because Anthony Davis is very, very popular, and for every LeBron James stan who's going to say that he's carrying the Lakers and AD is a scrub, there's another LeBron James hater, a la Skip Bayless, who's out there saying that, nah, LeBron James is putting up empty stats, Anthony Davis is better on defense, Anthony Davis gives LeBron those easy looks, blah, 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 saying that AD is the better player. They are going to take each other's votes as well. Not to mention, I think Anthony Davis, by the end of the season, is going to be averaging about the same number of points as LeBron. I think LeBron will slow down a little bit throughout the season, not necessarily stop being an MVP candidate by any means, but I think he will not stand out as clearly above AD as he is right now. And I think because of that, he will be the MVP runner-up. And my prediction, as a biased Sixers fan, is that Joel Embiid is going to win the 2021 MVP. Yes, I'm sure it's not a popular opinion, but it is what I believe right now. If you look at the Sixers, and I know their competition hasn't been amazing so far, but they are 10-1 when Embiid plays. They have had a whole bunch of injuries, and they are still 10-5 overall. They are the first seed in the East, and it's not impossible to imagine them keeping it because of how many players they've lost. You can say that the Sixers have had bad competition, but they also haven't had a healthy roster. Embiid has missed 4 games already, partially due to COVID-related stuff. They got a game canceled. Seth Curry has missed 2 weeks now. Hopefully he comes back on Friday, but who knows when he actually does. But when he gets back, their offense is going to get much better. They already have the 4th best defense, and I think that's going to get better when they stop missing players. The Sixers are set to be a top 2 seed in the East, next to the Bucks and maybe the Celtics, okay? Those 3 teams are going to be battling for it the entire year, and if the Sixers can be a top 2 seed, and I know this is a big caveat for everyone, if Embiid can be healthy, and when I say healthy, I'm suggesting probably he plays 60 plus games out of this 72-win season, okay? If he misses more than 12 games, I think then he's probably missing too much to win the MVP. But if he does not miss more than 12 games, if he plays at least 60 games this season, then I don't see any reason Embiid can't win the award. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's going to be in Defensive Player of the Year talks all season, carrying the Sixers' amazing defense. Ben Simmons has not been very good, which actually helps Embiid's case because it makes the narrative look like he's carrying Ben Simmons. His co-star has not been as good as he's supposed to be, and Embiid is carrying the team. Embiid is averaging the best stuff of his career, 26 points and 11 rebounds, to go with 55% from the field, 37% from 3, and 84% from the free throw line. He is absolutely dominating. You saw last night against the Celtics, and even though he cannot average 40 points a game, and he's not going to even drop 30 every single night, he can do it a whole lot, and he is really set for the narrative to be on his side because he's by far the best player on the Sixers. Ben Simmons, like I said, hasn't been great. He's got the defense, he's got the offense, and the Sixers have the wins. The only question is health. And I know that's a big question, but I am willing to go out on a limb and say that Joel Embiid will stay healthy enough to win the 2021 MVP. I cannot freaking wait. If Joel Embiid is not able to stay healthy enough, my bet is LeBron James. But as it is right now, assuming Joel Embiid stays healthy, I think he wins the MVP. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Check out my other videos, especially if you're a Sixers fan. I do a hell of a lot of videos on the Sixers. And thank you once again for watching. I hope you have a good day.